Hello folks, welcome back to another technology review. Today I'm going to be reviewing another box camera. This is a Crown box camera. Now, just like the last one, because this camera is, I believe if the date is correct, this camera is over 100 years old now. And I assume the bag is over 100 years old, and you can really tell because it seems to be falling apart. At least the actual pigment is, but let's have a look at the camera. So this is a Crown box camera. There's no other information or anything in the box, but the camera itself. To tell you the truth, I don't know. I've done a bit of research on this camera, and I still have no idea what year this camera is from. My guess it's from 1920, but I've had other sources tell me it's from 1917. I've had some sources say it's from 1925. I have no idea which one is true. Judging by the look of it, I'll be willing to bet money it's from 1920, and it's most likely it's from 1920. Don't quote me on that though, because I'm not 100% sure. There's a lot of conflicting information on this camera out there, and I haven't really found any reliable sources, but my guess is from 1920, so you're just gonna have to trust me on that. The camera is... So it takes 120 film. No, not 120, 620 film. Of course, 620 film doesn't exist anymore, but as far as I know, you can modify this camera to take 120 medium film, which is great. You do have to do a bit of modification on the spools, and you do have to do a little bit of tinkering, but it is possible to get it working. Now, of course, you have the lens itself. I believe it's a 25mm lens. I don't know for sure. Once again, there's a bit of conflicting information out there, and I'm no expert in this topic at all. I'm really an amateur photographer myself, so I really don't know. I learn as I go, basically. But you have so you have a bulb adjustment here, and a lot of this. You see, I reviewed a Kodak camera on the channel before, and that one was in a lot better condition. This one has sort of seen better days. You can see there's a lot of rust and things like that. I believe this is the bulb mode, and the shutter. Let me see. So the shutter is powered by this lever here. So let me just. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's the shutter moving, opening and closing. It's obviously timed at 1/100th of a second. Don't know if you can modify that, but at least if you could maybe like time it, I don't know. But with the bulb mode, obviously, if you want to take longer exposures, you can do that and leave the shutter open. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the mechanism moving like that as well. So you also have a range finder here. Well, not a range finder, but you have this adjustment here. Now, you can really tell this camera of its age. The last box camera I made, or the last box camera I reviewed, was pretty good. This one's good as well, and don't get me wrong, it's beautiful, but it really does show its age. Like, it's a lot more clunkier than the other one. The other one I reviewed was from the late 1930s, I think, or it was the 1940s, something like that. It was a Kodak Brownie, so I think it was a Model 2. But anyway, I might leave an annotation at the end of this video if you want to check out that box camera review. But anyway, so you can pull this tab out, and you can also adjust it for portrait, or if you want to take longer range, you can adjust this. And I believe what this mechanism does here is it moves an internal lens in front of this lens, but it's like in the inside. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if you can see that. See that mechanism moving in and out? I can't really focus here. I'm using my phone, but so that's like a sort of lens in the inside. You can adjust that for if you want to take different types of photos. You have the winding mechanism here as well for your film. And the film is loaded inside the camera. You can see there's this, this is your film counter, so you would see how many frames you have left here through this, this little plastic panel. I don't know if it's plastic actually. It's like a type of weird paper. Of course, you have handle, leather handle. It's sort of seen better days, as with this entire camera. Now, if you want to take portrait shots, of course you have these two mirrors here. You can't look through the actual lens itself. You use these like eyepieces here, and the way it works is you use there's mirrors in the inside, and you sort of look through, and it sort of just shines through. Don't do what I did the first time. I thought you had to like go really close up to the camera like this. That's not how you look through it. What you do is you sort of stand up and then peer down into the actual viewfinder, and you want to take if you want to take portrait photos, you hold the camera like this. You want to take landscape, you or not you do landscape if you do it like this. You do portraits, you want to do it like this. Fairly simple, pretty straightforward, as with all these early time period cameras. Unless, of course, there's much older models, which, you know. So, now, I would show you the inside of this camera, but it's a bit on the more clunkier side open now. It could be just my model, but you really have to do a lot of tinkering to get this thing open, and I can't do it in one hand, so... But if you've already seen my other camera review, it's fairly simple in the inside. It's nothing special. It's just the open compartment for the actual film, and obviously the spools and things like that as well. Very simple in the inside. It's a very basic camera, but it's great. If you want to take some basic if you want to modify the camera and to take 120 medium format shots, you can do that. I have not taken photos with this camera yet, but I will one day. I might not actually take photos with this specific model. I might take photos with the other model, the other one I reviewed. So just because that one's a bit more easier to use and it's not as old and clunky, but it's a fantastic looking camera, and they're cheap as well. I literally got mine for £5. So they're not that they're worthless. They're worth something to me because I think they're just absolutely beautiful. I'm definitely going to be collecting more of these cameras. They're absolutely fantastic. And if you like photography like I do, I definitely recommend you collect them because I think they're just beautiful to have in a collection, especially if you want to leave them on the shelf. And they're nice, cheap, and compact. All metal as well, no plastic or anything, just like a leather exterior here, and some of them are cardboard for what I know. I don't think this one has cardboard. It might have like bits of cardboard paneling in the inside. Now, this is just a bit of a warning. Again, I could be, like I say, I'm no expert in this topic, but concerning it has cardboard, you know, this is superior to the 80s, right? So I don't know much about old cardboard and old materials, with varying materials at the beginning of the turn of the century, but there might be certain cameras, I don't know about this model specifically, but obviously with anything with cardboard, there might be bits of asbestos in it. I don't know if this camera has it, but that's just a fair warning, but don't take my word on that because, I'm no expert. I do need to do more research on this topic myself, and I might even make an update review on it if I ever get new information on this camera. But yeah, that's really all I have to say for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Take care and goodbye.